every now and again, when having a conversation with my mother, she will tell me that I can't worry about everything. I don't know if that's just something that mothers in general tend to say, mothers in general, or even if they do, whether that's something they only tend to say to their children as opposed to other people's children, or whether that is only something they say to their sons and not to their daughters, or only to children with curly hair, and so on and so forth. Perhaps this isn't even a trait common amongst mothers, maybe it's just my mother who likes to say this. Additionally, as far as I know, I'm the only person she likes to tell this to. I've never heard her say this to anyone else. Of course, I'm sure it would be obvious to most people I'm not aware of my mother's conversations, but I suppose I could ask people who have at least talked to her once whether she has ever told them this. Another striking fact is that other people don't feel the need to tell me that I can't worry about everything, only my mother. Now, I don't know if this is because they're just trying to be polite or whether this is really just more of a thing mothers say. That's to say that if I could somehow stop being my mother's son, would she still tell me that I can't worry about everything? And on this point, we can only speculate, as there is no way that I could actually stop being my mother's son, and even if I could, my mother might be so offended by the act that she wouldn't talk to me anyway. Well, regardless, I've always maintained that in fact I can worry about everything. I just haven't gotten around to it. While it might be obvious to some people, such as my mother, that I spend much of my time worrying about things, it is also true that I have competing interests. So perhaps if I were more focused on worrying about things, I could eventually worry about everything. Maybe it just requires more time commitment than I have been willing to give it. However, lately I've started to worry that she might be right, that I can't worry about everything. On the one hand, this is a good thing because in worrying about this, I have one less thing to cross off of my list of everything to worry about. But on the other hand, it might be bad because maybe it just isn't humanly possible to worry about everything. And if it's humanly possible, it might not be possible for me. And now that I think about it, I'm not sure whether their statement is meant in a more general sense, or whether she's specifically saying that I can't worry about everything. Maybe she knows some people who can, not sure. But let's look at the problem with the assumption that it pertains to all individuals in the human race, and not just me. And if we have time, we can consider if it's just me. So the first question that we might want to deal with is just how long is this list? And at best, we can hope that the list is at least finite. Because if the list is infinite, then all bets are off. But if instead the list is finite, then that does leave us with the possibility that we could complete the task so long as the list isn't too long. And just how long is not too long depends on just how long time we can put into worrying about everything and how much time we must spend on each individual thing on the list, on average. So we still have the problem of acquiring the list in the first place. If we can't get hold of this list, we have very little chance of succeeding for obvious reasons. But even if we can acquire this list, there might still be some items on this list that lie beyond our cognitive ability or even beyond our experience to even comprehend what it is we're supposed to worry about. And if that's the case, then we won't succeed. Furthermore, in our discussion, up to this point, we've been assuming that we would worry about one item on the list until we get to the end of the list. But we must determine whether approaching the problem in this way would actually constitute worrying about everything, or whether it is indeed it would be necessary to worry about everything simultaneously. Unfortunately, if the latter is the case, then we can easily see that the task would become a great deal more challenging. I don't think it would be too difficult to believe that the total number of things to worry about could easily be much greater than the number of things we could reasonably be expected to worry about simultaneously. This is all at once. And there's another problem that complicates things further, and that is that in order to worry about everything, we'd have to worry about the good things too. And it's very difficult to imagine good things. It's not very difficult to imagine good things, but how do you, for example, wake up in the morning and worry that you might have a good day? So in conclusion, it seems that my mother is right, and that it seems it's unlikely that anybody could worry about everything. So, I don't know, maybe it's worth trying? I don't know. Thank you.